This was the start of a long journey for a company that is now the highest profit-making public enterprise in the country. Shortly after its inception, the ONGC began exploration and production in new areas, but its biggest achievement was in 1974 with the discovery of the massive Mumbai High oil field. Hello and welcome to the Secretariat. This week we are going to look at the energy sector, a crucial segment of the country's infrastructure, and more specifically at one of the biggest public enterprises, the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. The story of the ONGC is truly the story of oil exploration and production in India. The hydrocarbon sector had been left completely to the private sector in the early years after independence. Oil exploration was being done in only a few areas in Assam and West Bengal. Meanwhile, the country was importing nearly all its oil needs. It was in 1955 that the need to exploit the country's oil and natural gas resources was recognized, and the government set up the Oil and Natural Gas Directorate. By 1956, this was expanded into a commission, which was again made into a statutory body in 1959 with the passage of the Oil and Natural Gas Commission Act. Its mandate was to explore, develop, and produce India's hydrocarbons. This was the start of a long journey for a company that is now the highest profit-making public enterprise in the country. Shortly after its inception, the ONGC began exploration and production in new areas, but its biggest achievement was in 1974 with the discovery of the massive Mumbai High oil field. This made the country largely self-sufficient in oil. By the mid-1980s, domestic production met about 73% of the country's oil demand and 84% of natural gas requirements. But like any maturing oil field, production began to decline in the 1990s. Demand for oil and gas also went up as the country's liberalized economic policies stimulated investment and manufacturing output. Yet by then, ONGC had already put India on the path to controlling its energy destiny. By finding and producing oil and gas within the country, it enabled the building of refineries, petrochemicals, and fertiliser units. It became even more effective when it transformed into a company with the passage of the Oil and Natural Gas Commission Act in 1994, making it the largest corporation at that time. Self-sufficiency in oil has fallen drastically now, and the country has to import as much as 85% of its needs. Even so, ONGC remains a key pillar of India's energy security. It is reinvesting heavily in enhanced oil recovery in mature oil fields while scouting for new deep water prospects. It is even expanding into coal bed methane. It must not be forgot that ONGC revenues contribute in a big way to the exchequer through dividends and taxes. It has also become an integrated oil company like other global oil majors after acquiring the public sector Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited. It is now involved in both upstream production and downstream refining activities. The creation of ONGC Videsh Limited as a subsidiary also helped to buttress energy security by enabling expansion into oil and gas assets around the world. Currently, OVL has 30 projects in 15 countries, including Myanmar and Russia. At the same time, there is a downside to having government control over an energy company. This includes bureaucratic delays in acquiring equipment And even government auditors have criticized drilling efficiency levels. But with the launch of the new exploration licensing policy and the entry of the private sector, ONGC has been forced to become more competitive. This is all to the good, as the company now faces the challenge of energy transition. The outlook is bright, as it remains in the vanguard of the search for hydrocarbon assets both within the country and abroad. At the same time, with a growing trend towards greener fuels, it will have to be nimble in upgrading technology to meet changing needs. Yet, there is no doubt the ONGC will remain a bulwark for India's energy security in the long run. Thanks for watching. Do tune in again next week for another dive into the iconic policies of the past.